ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa is leading the party's Letsema Campaign in Tzaneen in Limpopo. So a few weeks ago, several communities in that area had blockaded roads demanding to be provided with water. So recently, the ANC PEC announced its backing for Ramaphosa for a second term. Ramaphosa is expected to engage with ANC branches and the mass democratic movement structures under one roof. So the Letsema Campaign was launched on April the 23rd in Mangaung, that's in the Free State, and is aimed at placing structures of the ANC at resolving some of the community challenges, including service delivery and social inclusion. For more on this, SABC News reporter Mahlako Komane is joining us now live. Mahlako, a very good morning to you. Thanks indeed for your time. Great to see you once again. So the ANC president is there to speak on service delivery issues, how his party plans to bolster when it comes to service delivery efforts. But also on the backdrop of that, I guess why many of you are there is what has come out of the Western Cape High Court with regard to the suspension of Public Protector Tzaneen.
Yes, indeed. Good morning to you, Griselda. Quite correct. Service delivery, I suppose, one of the key reasons why the president is here. Griselda, if I can just give you a bit of background, we were in this community a few weeks ago where we saw residents had blockaded some of the streets demanding exactly that, service delivery, saying that they had not had water for weeks. When we later, engaged with local authorities here, it was an issue of a pump. The municipality apologizing, saying that they could have planned better on their part. So service delivery, quite an issue here. We also know that part of the program that brings them here is the issue of potholes. When you drive into this community, some of the places that we've been, you can just see, quite a lot of potholes. I understand that when we spoke to some community or some residents or community members here saying that they had started seeing, a ramp up in action in terms of fixing of potholes. That's what they were telling us. But I suppose, the question of the day becomes that, that ruling that came out of the Western Cape High Court regarding the issue of the, public protector, Tzaneen. It's a question that we're all, I suppose, inkling to ask the president as to what's the way forward. We saw there was a statement that had come out saying that they were going to, get constitutional experts to look at that, because I think it needs to go that far as well. But we will try and definitely get and ask that question from the president himself as to what is the way forward, considering that we did hear, the public protector saying that she's going back to office. What does this mean? That that separation of powers, or how will it work going forward? What is the plan? Would she be well within her rights to go there? What is the plan coming, from the president in terms of how he's going to address that particular ruling and what it actually means, Griselda?
Mahlako, perhaps, you're absolutely correct there. Any, decision or any court ruling that a decision by the president is constitutionally invalid would need to be confirmed by the Constitutional Court. What we're hearing now is that Advocate Tzaneen is not at work. She is, in fact, with her lawyers at the moment. I'm getting wind of the fact that there's a possible appeal that might be coming here, but of course we'll probably hear from that. Perhaps you could also put that to the president in terms of what his office is saying about that. But talk to us a bit about some of the other challenges in that area. You spoke about some of the service delivery concerns, the protests that have taken place there. But what are residents saying in terms of how government has responded to some of the challenges that they experience in that particular area of Tzaneen?
Griselda, when we were here, and just as you drive around, well, because we were getting lost at some point, so you start to have engagements with community members. They are feeling that there's there's an increased effort, we may call it that, in terms of making neating up the house because visitors are coming, in particularly with the president coming here, that they are seeing a lot of things suddenly happening. The wheels are moving, the wheels of service delivery are moving because there was that, or there is that particular visit by the president. But also this particular area, you'd remember this is home to Miss South Africa and Avenue Carey. There were also things that were happening leading up to that big welcoming that she had from province, and I think as well as the municipality. So they were seeing a lot of movement in terms of those activities that had taken place. We were obviously also going to I suppose bring residents in this particular area on camera and ask them how they feel. We're just waiting. We're just here for the briefing because we understand after this we're moving to a creche. There's some cleanup that is going to happen there, I suppose, maybe painting and so forth. And then there's the issue of potholes. I mean, you would remember, Griselda. We saw the picture of the president. I think he was in Mpumalanga where he was pushing that pothole machine. I mean, he came under a lot of scrutiny from a lot of people saying that it looks this is bad PR. It looks really bad. Is he becoming the president of potholes? The issue of potholes does speak to an issue of maintenance. I mean, is government not supposed to ordinarily be performing those functions of maintaining infrastructure? That is part of what happens. But it will be quite interesting. I mean, those are questions that we need to ask. How much money is being spent here? What in terms of kilometers, how much are they expecting to fix? Will we be seeing the potholes come open up again? We are expecting obviously the summer rains that we do expect every season in this particular area. Is this of good quality? How do we ensure that we're not closing potholes for 6 weeks and we're back at it again? So those I think are some of the questions that we need to ask, because there's a money issue here in terms of what is being spent, and also I think the basic infrastructure maintenance, be it we're talking about the drain system, we're talking about roads. What is it that is happening? Does he not have confidence in the officials that he's placed in the various departments, that now there's a whole big campaign on fixing of potholes, Griselda?
Mahlako, every time I guess the president moves to different parts of the country, I remember I think it was in the Eastern Cape, in Umtata, I'd never seen the place that clean until the president was arriving that day. There was a lot of cleanup taking place. So, some of it is actually just for show. And you see quite a lot of that taking place. So I'm sure you'll report for us there. Thank you very much indeed.